Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we circle back to something we've seen before to see a new variant of it that I actually didn't know existed, but suspected existed, just didn't have any proof until very, very recently, thanks to an individual in the community who helped me out, as we'll get into here in a moment. Yes, we'll be looking at the Skywalker Saga releases and the Rise of Skywalker releases very soon. I'm waiting for the rest of those to get into my hands. A few episodes ago, we did look at the 4K releases that wound up getting to me early for the individual films. Yes, we will see more of that. Yes, I'll continue those 8 episodes, one of which is now released. But for right now, we're looking at stuff sitting on my shelves we haven't looked at yet, just because I haven't had time to record about them recently. So, way back, we took a look at a special type of variant packaging for things coming out through what we think of as club stores, like Sam's Club or Costco, back around the late 90s, early 2000s. These were things that basically were designed as anti-theft packaging. It would take a regular DVD release and give it a longer package, kind of more like what you would see with early CDs, like compact discs, that was basically just designed to be something that was bigger, bulkier, and tougher for someone to sort of shove down their pants or in their coat to walk out of the store with and shoplift. Just anti-theft club packaging. But we've seen different variants of this over time. For the Phantom Menace, we saw that in 2001 there was this widescreen variant of it in what we think of as 20th Century Fox branded packaging. Okay? We've seen this before. It's the same DVD you would get anywhere, just with that special type of packaging. And we found that in 2002, right, that was 2001, in 2002 when full screen arrived, there was a similar version with lighter coloration, but again, 20th Century Fox branded anti-theft packaging. But when we looked at Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, we found that there was something cool with them. Yeah, there were 20th Century Fox versions of the packaging out there. But for Attack of the Clones, there was a version, this one is the widescreen version, just as an example. There was a version out there with the anti-theft packaging variant that was specific to that film that was really cool looking. And the same thing, though not quite as cool looking, could be found for Revenge of the Sith as well. So the question kind of lingered. Did they just move to film-specific packaging in 2002 and only hit Attack of the Clones and then just kind of continued onward with Revenge of the Sith? Or was there such a thing as film-specific packaging out there for Phantom Menace and I just hadn't seen it? I suspected there probably was, but I had no way to prove it. Just like I'm not actually sure if there's a 20th Century Fox only variant version of Revenge of the Sith. I've seen Phantom Menace with 20th Century Fox. I'd seen Attack of the Clones with both, film-specific and 20th Century Fox. I'd seen Revenge of the Sith only with film-specific. And I'd seen the trilogy set for 2004 with both as well. So there's some question as to whether there is a 20th Century Fox branded, sort of generic-looking packaging variant for Revenge of the Sith for the club stores. But the question hanging over us for this episode was, what about a film-specific version for Phantom Menace? Did it exist? Well, a gentleman by the name of Jacob Comstock, who is also a fan of this sort of stuff, wound up reaching out to me. Jacob, by the way, is affiliated with, or friends, I guess, with, you could say, a channel here on YouTube called Atomic Evolution that does movie reviews and stuff like that for those who are curious for that sort of thing. You know, movie reviews, trailers, podcasts, and that sort of thing, all kind of rolled together if you're into just movies in general. Jacob reached out to me when he happened to see a film-specific variant for Phantom Menace on eBay. But of course he reached out through Facebook Messenger, which is good. I talk to a lot of people on Facebook Messenger, but my personal Facebook page is private. I do have one that is mine for my author stuff that you're more than welcome if you want to like it and send me messages through there. That's great. It's facebook.com/NathanPButlerAuthor, all is one word. But he tried through my personal Facebook page, which may be easier to find perhaps for him. And the problem is that if you do that, basically if you're not friends with someone on Facebook, the message just kind of lingers there in limbo until you actually actively see it and go in and accept the message to then respond. So he sees this on eBay, sends me a message, I don't see it at the time. Eventually, once that eBay auction is already over, then I finally see it when I happen to check my little message box that never sent me a notification that someone had a message pending, and I wrote back saying, well, thank you very much, I appreciate you at least letting me know that this exists, even if I wasn't able to get it at the time because I didn't see the message before now, but I really appreciate it. And Jacob had taken an extra step. Knowing that it was possible that I may wind up looking for this at some point, knowing that he had reached out but might not hear back from me before the auction ended, which wound up being the case, he picked it up. And when I reached out and said, hey, thanks for letting me know it exists, he offered, hey, you want it? Pay me what I paid for it. You're welcome to it, so you can show it in the book and on the show and make this part of your home video library and something to educate other fans about. So Jacob kind of went above and beyond when it came to actually spotting this, letting me know, and then acquiring it just in case, and it wound up working out great in the end. A really cool instance of sort of the community within Star Wars home video collecting, helping each other, very much like we had to really help each other back in October and November of last year when those Walmart exclusives came out. So finally, I can show you a film-specific packaging variant that looks really cool here for the Phantom Menace at club stores like Sam's Club and Costco. This is the widescreen release. Now I'm guessing that there's also a full-screen version of this because the copyright date on the packaging is 2002. Remember, the widescreen version came out in 2001, but then they kept those out on the shelves and released a full-screen version in 2002. Copyright date on this packaging is 2002, so probably there is a version of this out there for full screen. Anyway, widescreen version of the film. Up at the top there, every saga has a beginning. It does not say widescreen. It says every saga has a beginning. Very much like the DVD packaging, because there wasn't a distinction between widescreen and full screen in 2001 because it was just widescreen, has the tagline on the DVD packaging as well, the DVD case, rather than saying widescreen, the only prequel film that does that. Underneath we have Darth Maul. It says 2-disc set, although it's kind of weird the way that it's written there. Episode 1 over there on the side, and kind of tough to see. The top just has a little opening so you can see the label there for the film. The bottom is just black. The side there has 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Roman numeral 1, THX, and Lucasfilm down there. Same thing on the other side. On the back, the window to see the back of the packaging. A shot there of Obi-Wan versus Maul with the red background like the packaging, not the background actually in the film. And your copyright notice stuff down at the bottom, including that copyright date of 2002. So yes, there actually was, at least in 2002, a film-specific packaging variant for the Phantom Menace. You can actually have the club packaging of all 3 of the prequel films and have a film-specific variant for all 3 of them, which is really cool. Again, I suspected it existed, but had never, ever actually seen it in the wild to confirm that, let alone got my hands on it. But thanks to Jacob, I was able to pull that off, and I really, really appreciate that. So, with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.